Hey, what's up everyone? Today we are talking about one of the vintage cars and rarely find in the market. That's none other than Cadillac 60 Special, which was released on 1964, something like that. So let's have a quick tour of Cadillac 60 Special. Yeah, this is Cadillac 60 Special, which is like really rare to find in the market, and this car looks completely in condition. And if you see the exterior, it's clean and super maintained. Of course guys, a couple of parts of vintage cars are really hard to find and absolutely expensive, and not every mechanic can service this type of cars. So before buying vintage cars, we should check the couple of things. And rather than speaking myself, I just want to make a quick interview of the car owners. That's my friend, is Rob. We'll ask him a couple of questions like how to maintain vintage cars and how to get services. Is that really expensive to maintain vintage cars, and why? And how do you resolve the problems, such as if I have some issue which is unknown, I can directly go to mechanic and ask what's the problem in this. So we'll take a quick interview of the owners and let's find out more information, guys. But this car looks gorgeous. This car looks completely gorgeous, and I'm of course a vintage car lover. So that's the reason why I always chase and find some type of vintage cars and try to capture them. And talking about this car, I think everything is like original parts and everything is like super great in condition. If you see the interiors, if you see suppose if you see the seat belts, everything is like completely good in condition. I'm only talking about like interior and exterior, but coming to its engine, it's definitely, as it's released in 1960s, it's definitely going to have some kind of an mechanical issues. So guys, as this is a vintage car, everything inside the car is completely different from current trends. If you see the door locks, it will be like completely different. If you see this is the door lock. It looks like a gear, but it's a door lock. We have to just like push it up, and this is the way. And yeah, this is like completely different when you see from the normal cars today. And if you see the steering wheel, it looks like a boat steering wheel, and yeah, it's a huge. Whereas like dashboard is completely different. Honestly, I like this style, like vintage style. I'm a vintage car lover, but like I like this a lot. See the stations, FM stations, it looks like I can't even match with the current cars. It looks completely different. Can you tell me about your car? Which year is this?
So we're in a 65 Cadillac Fleetwood, 60 Special.
So where did you got this? Did you bought somewhere in auctions, or it's from your any like parents or grandparents?
So it was actually my grandma's car.
Nice.
And it's a 65, and I believe they purchased it in like 1970 or 1969 or something like that.
It's like real classic.
So yeah, it's, I mean, I've always considered it to be, you know, our, you know, original owners, but I guess you'd technically call us second owners. But you know.
So how hard it's to maintain this type of cars? I mean, like I heard like many vintage car users that like it's very way expensive to maintain classic cars because of the maintenance or because of parts. So
yeah, I mean, gas is expensive. My dad swears by, you know, putting Shell, just like the highest grade premium gas that you can put in it.
Gotcha.
And you know, so that's always kind of a factor. And you know, it burns a bit of oil.
Yeah.
So, you know, dealing with that is something else. There's always something.
Gotcha.
So, all right.
Yeah.
I want to replace like all the bushings. Like to hear some rattles up front. I think that's somebody was saying it was like a center link, I think. So the bushings are, all those rubber bushings are worn out. So it's just metal squeaking on metal.
Gotcha.
So I think even before I get new brakes, I'll probably do a disc brake. But before I do any of that, I want to have a smooth ride. You know, no like jingles over bumps or any of that stuff. And you know.
So do you order your spare parts by yourself, or you have like any trusted mechanic who do complete work for you? Or how do you check like whether what's wrong, or do you completely believe the mechanic words?
Well, so sometimes I've got friends that have these same cars.
Nice.
And so I'll ask friends a lot, kind of what they deal with.
Yeah.
Or hit people up on Instagram that also work on classic Cadillacs, and just see, you know, try to troubleshoot it as much as I can. And then if I'm completely stumped, I mean, somebody's got an answer for everything.
Absolutely. It's all about like asking.
It's just finding the right person that knows the information. And then, yeah, I mean, you got to find a shop that you trust. It's not going to overcharge you.
Yeah.
And, but that know enough to get the job done, so you're not wasting money on nothing.
Yeah.
So that's definitely
the things which you said is like really good, like finding a community, like finding the people who has the same cars or same classic cars. They have like better knowledge rather than going to directly make.
I'm just about to die. Like for real. Well, stuff like that, for instance, I could be driving and I think it's a torque converter. I was reading about it, and I think that that's kind of the problem I'm having right now.